But they don't, because they're chasing the wrong thing. It's not there. They're looking in the wrong place. You can't find it there. It's not in Hollywood. It's not in how it looks. Your wife is not how she looks. She's more than that. You know, your husband is not how big his muscles is. There's something else going on. And if people don't get that, they're in trouble. And other people are so dumb, if they don't have that, they think that's not the, oh no, y'all can hear me. Well, I tell you, y'all been so bad, I'm not going to even push this thing because y'all been bad. And you're a little slow. I'm not going to use any bad language, but I just tell you, y'all got to speed up. Look, I'm not bragging, but I'll put it this way. If 50 years ago, I was the wealthiest man in town and trying to share it with everybody, which I did, okay, and go all around the world and have all the police running around, Interpol, Negro Pole, it don't make no difference, everybody. And I'm still here, and I've been doing over 40 years of Islamic work inside of the United States with the Zionists, the Americans, and then you guys, all the Negroes. Can you imagine all the Negroes? Think about it. All the Negroes, all the Arabs, all the universities, all of y'all, everybody. And we're still here just grinning like it's okay, which it is. Now, you talking about you going to come on out here. I dare you. You just talking about really what you going to tell everybody, right? All we do is we got pictures of what y'all do. We got arrest reports. We got all that stuff. Remember, silly, they kicked that stuff out of court that y'all put in there in what, less than a 45, in less than a half an hour. This is the court. And I didn't even say nothing at all, just one or two little things. And remember they asked you, did you say such and such? You said, I shouldn't have said that. And the lawyer said, you lied, didn't you? Well, I misrepresented. That's slow mentality type of thing. That's not brilliant. That's like almost, of course, you don't feel sorry for people, but I'll put it this way. The government has clowned y'all all that. Nobody else is around, just you and Khadijah. Why? Because everybody else is slow too. They're slow. Abdul Malik them is slow. All the Arabs and everybody in the pack, all the kids and students from UC, Berkeley and UC, all of them have flown away. Do you know, you may not believe it, but Ahmed Shama came in here a while back and asked me, what do you want us to do with our bayah? I said, you mean that thing from 12 years ago? He was bald-headed. He didn't bald-headed. That's how old he was students. He's halfway bald-headed. He almost have grandchildren now. Look, I'm going to help y'all because you need help. But you got to just stop letting me throw something out and reel it in and you bite it without even thinking. After all of these years, after all this stuff I done talked about and I do it, this, that, and other, and you're still ringing me up. This is insanity. talking about Bob Hoffman. Bob Hoffman worked for me, stupid. I mean, I'm not going to call your name because remember, y'all call the police on the nigga. I remember I was in court and y'all say, remember when I was calling you and telling you, do this, do that, and said, that's because I was just having fun, but they will tell, and remember the judge is with them, the lady judge. The lady judge she's as stupid as they are. No, she's as stupid as they are because I got the paperwork. She says if you have something that you want to show in paperwork, you put it out here. So I put out the paperwork. I got the stuff that says what I wanted to say, and then I got some of the stuff that they wanted to say. I put theirs out there and gave it to the judge, and she's a dummy. She said, well, I'll look on here and see who's on the people of record. Well, I gave them an old one that had them on there as a record. Because you could just go down and get it at office. You just say, I'm so-and-so, and fill out the paper, and they give it to you. It's not like you got to, so they said all that in court. So this is what I wanted to do, judges, to see, because the stuff is on the record. What the judge saying, we're in court. And the judges are slow, they messing with a Negro and they think this, we're at a great system. And all I sit there, I said, get them to say that. And then so when I go back to court, whenever I get ready, that's on the thing. It's on didn't you say that, Judge? But you didn't know the law, that's not, you're a judge and you didn't know that was just a piece of paper? And you're a judge? That's what I'm going to ask her, because I'm going to be the one fight my own case. I'm asking, you mean, and then was you rolling your eyes at me when we was? No. Well, okay, you wasn't rolling your eyes. But let's read the transcript then. It sounds like you are rolling your eyes at me with your voice. Right? I mean, I can have fun. I'm the one going to fight my own cases. I can say what I want. They can't stop me from talking. Right? Just like I'm acting here, you wait till I get all of them in court. And then here's the people trying to threaten me with somebody in Virginia. That's what it said, right? Virginia. Who? In Virginia. Maybe the guys that said that what I was saying was, what did they say? Obscenity. This is so much. This is why it's fun. You have to keep it fun. If you start analyzing the way it is, you start getting mad. And then you'll be tense. And then you'll be wanting to do something to people. But you got to realize, what did God give me? God gave me that I could talk trash and just have a good time. And that's what we do. That's why we're here now with all these gray hairs and been here all this time. And everybody else is dead and gone long time ago, or given up. It ain't nobody. Why ain't nobody around but us? I mean, Sharpton them is here, but I mean, why nobody in the movement is up and around right now? And even Imam Jamil is in prison, right? Nobody else, none of the movements, none of the organizations, nobody that's in those organizations with them. Why? It ain't nothing happening. It's not happening. It's happening with us. If this world is going to be, from our perspective, we have to do it. This big part we have to play. And not only where we are now, but when we move along, we have to have the same attitude to help people not to become murderers. Because after the revolution, y'all all ever heard of Robespierre and them, the guillotine, French Revolution? Boy, they had that guillotine, Gillette, was rolling, right? The Russian Revolution, Chinese Revolution, even the dear American Revolution, a few people up then disappeared. And then the minute George Washington got power, he turned crazy, right? The white boys got a song. What is it? About the Whiskey Rebellion. We've been doing this whiskey since 1792. You know, that was the Whiskey Rebellion. It was in history. Yeah, because the white folks would make whiskey so to have a little extra money, you know, they would mash all the stuff. Anyway, and then the government gonna come, when they get power, you done fought all the British and run them off, and now George and them is in power. And see, the Declaration, not to get into history, but the Declaration of Independence is different than the Constitution. Anybody even just read into the Declaration of Independence is from a people that desire freedom and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? And they fought that whole war under the Articles of Confederation, 1775. And then the Constitution is we have charge now. Therefore, you got to follow these. Well, we was just out there fighting 2 weeks ago. That's nice and everything. But you got to pay taxes on that whiskey. You want us to pay taxes on the whiskey? Hell, we don't have no money, but we get a little corn mash and we Irish whiskey and whiskey it up. And we have it all year round. I mean, up into the winter. We can't save vegetables that long, so we can sell a little whiskey to each other to get a few coins to get us past. And now you want to tax that? And you know what we do. What's happening with y'all? You didn't pay us from the revolution yet. You know, we was barefooted out there at the Battle of Trenton and all that. We was barefooted. Valley Forge, we was, hey man, then now y'all wanna, that's what the Whiskey Rebellion was about.
George Washington, Benjamin Franklin,
Shoot.
all those people, they had money. Those are the fat cats.
Of course they had money.
As you begin to talk about it,
Yeah.
history, I'm like, yeah, that was George Washington and friends going back to take.
All they almost, they might as well just have the king here. Just that these were all them people at the Continental Congress and everywhere. The governor, give me liberty, give me death. That's the governor of Virginia at that time, right? Yeah, of course they were. But that's why the Whiskey Rebellion, the poor people are saying, man, we done just fought the British and run them off, and now we don't have but a few extra shillings. We got this corn, we're gonna mash it up and whiskey-wise it, and we can't preserve fruits, they don't last no time. We can put a few potatoes under the thing, but they'll be gone by the spring. But the whiskey, we could hold on to it and we could buy a little bit of what we want. Not that I want to change the subject, but the point is those people from that period, they're still around now. The ones that did it to the people, and we're with the people. No, we're with all of the people. This stuff about we're not going to be just cut off by race or any of that dumb stuff, right? This is for the humanity, yeah. And nobody else is thinking like that. You get, even they may be black people, they're just gonna be thinking about their crew.
Yeah.
They're just thinking about their crew. And then that won't last long because, see, after they get their throat cut by Negroes in combination with some Euros or what have you, they're going to get confused. And after that's why it's a killing, a slaughter. And boss man going to still have money enough to buy people to make them fight each other. We're going to have to really be that. That's what the tests about this so-called beatings and all that was. You have to be ready for that. It's the last test, the last real test. You know, you have tests from now on, but that one is the one. Can you do that? Well, that's one that nobody can do hardly. Well, we can do it. Yeah, we do it. And that's why I know we're ready.